Prisons aren't the most humane places on Earth, but the prisons you usually hear about are nothing compared to the current political prisons in North Korea. These prisons, also known as labor camps or concentration camps, force the prisoners to work in factories, fields, or even mines. They're tortured for every little mistake they make, and the chances of being publicly executed are extremely high. If a prisoner manages to survive all of this, he'll probably die from starvation anyway, as they never get enough food and they spend almost all of their time hungry, which combined with the fact that they have to work from 5:30 a.m. until midnight isn't exactly the healthiest way to live. The food situation in these camps is so critical that many prisoners resort to eating cockroaches and rats for survival. However, the worst thing about these camps are the lengths of the sentences. In North Korea, you can be sentenced to 3 generations of imprisonment. This means that you and your entire family will get imprisoned, and the following 2 generations of your family would have to spend their entire lives in the system as well. How do you think it would feel to be born in prison, only to find out you have to live the rest of your life in prison for something you didn't even do? You can get this sentence for such things as trying to escape North Korea, or even if the government only suspects you of being a spy. These camps also practice various torture methods on their prisoners. One example would be being hung by your ankles and then being beaten with sticks or burnt with flames. Another example is so-called water torture, which involves being forced to stand in a tank filled with water up to your nose for a whole day. There are many other different torture methods, but the most brutal one is the kneeling torture method. The inmate has to kneel with a wooden bar inserted near his knee hollows to stop blood circulation, and has to hold this position for days at a time. After about a week, the inmate is unable to walk and will most likely die within a few months. Life in these complexes is terrible, but the most bizarre thing is that most prisoners who were born in these camps don't even realize it. They don't know anything but life inside the camp, the rules in the camp, and their schedule is so challenging that they don't have much time to talk with inmates who lived outside the camp. These inmates can become almost like blind zombies who hardly even resemble humans. They go through so much trauma and suffering that they don't even know what real life is. A living example of this would be Shin Dong-hyuk. Shin was born in a North Korean concentration camp, but managed to escape the camp and eventually even escape the country after 23 years of living as a slave. This makes him the only person born in a North Korean gulag who successfully escaped. Well, at least that's what he thought, until some people started doubting his story due to some inconsistencies in it, but more about that later. He did an interview for the television program 60 Minutes, and he just appears so cold and desensitized to everything. He even said he still doesn't know what love means. However, he still shows a great deal of empathy for the other people who are still imprisoned. Subscribe if you'd like to know more about the life of Shin Dong-hyuk. Together, we'll take a closer look at his life in the next video.